Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video all about the Cardiff University halls of residence. So I'm going to go through each hall of residence and I'm going to kind of say how close they are to the city, if they have en-suites or not, etc, etc. And I'm going to be using the Cardiff University website to help me. So I'm going to start with the accommodation that I was in. So for first year I was in Senghennydd Hall. Now Senghennydd Hall is part catered and you have an ensuite. So part catered basically means that through Monday to Friday you have the option to have a meal in the evening time. Most of my first year, because everything was online and because of COVID and everything, the meals were delivered to our halls of residence or to our rooms, and we then go and collect them from outside, like you would if you ordered takeaway. However, normally there is a restaurant that is literally like a 2-minute walk from Senghennydd Hall to the restaurant, where you would sit down, choose your meal and eat it inside. I'm not sure what they're going to do next year, if they're going to have people go into the restaurant or if they're still going to deliver. Senghennydd Hall is the most expensive halls of residence, partly because number one, you've got an ensuite, and also number two, because you are part catered. Even though you are part catered, you don't have to have the meals Monday to Friday night. You can make your own, obviously, but you are paying for them, so you might as well. It was really good because they had all the vegetarian option was a vegan option as well, so that was really handy. Also, I just made sure to say that I was vegan when I was ordering. And what you need to do with that is, if you are going into the restaurant, you just have to bring in your residence card and to prove that you do actually live in Senghennydd Hall. However, if they are still doing it online, then you have like an online system that they go through, and you have a username and a password that you then have to log in. So the meals also run on a 2-week menu. So for 1 week there'll be set menus. There's normally like a fish option, a meat option, and a vegetarian/vegan option, run in a 2-week rotation. And the restaurant that it is in Trevithick Restaurant, which is in the Queen's Building, and I think that is where, also in the Queen's Building is also where like maths, physics, astronomy, engineering and computer science building is. But saying that, actually the new maths and computer science building is currently being built and it's going to be brand new, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the same. Either way, if you're doing any of those subjects, it would be good to live near Senghennydd or in Senghennydd Hall, because you're very near to those subjects. For me, for media communications, it was actually really good because I was only like a 12-minute walk from, or like a 15-minute walk from Senghennydd Hall to the media and communications building, which was really great. It is very near the city centre. It's about a 5-minute walk into the city centre, and it's very close, which is perfect. Also, it's very near the Students' Union. It's literally like a minute walk to the Students' Union, and so in the Students' Union there's a co-op. Also, across the road from Senghennydd Hall and up a little bit, literally like a 2-3 minute walk, there is a small Tesco's as well, which is good. And you do the laundry at Senghennydd Court, which is like right next door. So Senghennydd Court is another residence hall. So we've got Senghennydd Hall, Senghennydd Court. I was in Senghennydd Hall. Senghennydd Court is just like over the bridge, and over the bridge where the cars go underneath. And it's just there, and it's a lot. Senghennydd Court is a lot bigger. So Senghennydd Hall houses 103, can house up to 103 students. Senghennydd Court can house up to 610 students. So it is a lot bigger, and they have kind of like courtyards. So there might be there's like one building, and then there's another building here. So there's like space in between, like these kind of like courtyard type things. So with Senghennydd Court, you can either do self-catered or part catered. So with Senghennydd Court, I think you can do the same thing with Senghennydd Hall, whereas you get them where you get the meals Monday to Friday night, evening for a hot meal. The cheapest price for Senghennydd Court, so I'm guessing without the meals, is £114 per week, so quite a lot cheaper than Senghennydd Hall. Again, Senghennydd Court is very close to the city centre. It's about a 5-minute walk, again very close to the Students' Union. Yeah, so for Senghennydd Court, you can either have like self-catered and a shared bathroom, so that's the cheapest price. So you have to share a bathroom and you're self-catered, or you could have in Senghennydd Court part catered and a shared bathroom, or you can have self-catered and ensuite, or part catered and ensuite. That's for postgraduates only. So for undergraduates going to Senghennydd Court, you have to share a bathroom. If you're a postgraduate, you can have your ensuite, but as an undergraduate, you have to share a bathroom. That is why it's cheaper than Senghennydd Hall. So those are the Senghennydd ones. Now I'll talk about some other ones before getting on to the Talybont ones. So we have one called Aberconway Hall, and that holds up to 72 students, and that is from £123 per week. It is self-catered and has laundry in the facilities. You have a shared kitchen between 3 and 6 students. It's good for quiet living. It's about a 15-minute walk from Aberconway Hall to Cardiff city centre, and it's about a 10-minute walk to the main building, the Cardiff University main building, and a 25-minute walk to the Heath Park campus. I haven't really heard much about Aberconway Hall, so I'm guessing it's quite a quiet one. Again, very few students live there, only 72, and it looks like it is a shared bathroom as well, so you don't have an ensuite at Aberconway Hall. Next we have Aberdare Hall. So Aberdare Hall is a full female-only residence. It is from £114 per week, and you have a shared bathroom, and you can actually have self-catered or you can have part-catered depending on what you want and how much you can spend on your accommodation. Aberdare Hall is actually a really cool building. It is quite like an old building, I think, and this is actually what it looks like. It has a really nice like kind of red colour, and it just looks really cool from the outside. Aberdare Hall is probably about a 15 to 20 minute walk to the town centre, and it is actually quite close to, it's very close to Butte Park, and it's quite close to Senghennydd Hall. It was probably about a 10-minute walk from Senghennydd Hall, so then yeah, so it's probably about 15 to 20 minutes into the town centre. Super close to the main building. It's about a 3-minute walk to the main building. However, it is like a 30-minute walk to the Heath Park campus. Again, it's quite close to the Students' Union, probably about a 10-minute walk to the Students' Union. And you don't really hear much about Aberdare Hall, so it's probably quite a quiet one, all females, all women. And yeah, it's pretty good location, quite nice rooms. Next we have Cartwright Court. So again, £114 per week, holds about 172 students and is self-catered. This one also has 45 car park spaces if you are going to bring your car. It's about a 20-minute walk to the main Cardiff University building, so that would mean it's about a 30 to 40-minute walk into the city centre. There's different types of housing at Cartwright Court. You can either have it so you have a shared bathroom with other people, other flats, or you can have like 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom flats for couples or for families. And this one's quite cheap, you don't really hear about it. So again, quite quiet and not the best location because it is kind of far from the city centre, but apparently it's good for people studying healthcare courses. Next we have Clodien House, which comes to from around £130 per week. It houses 191 students. This one either has en-suites or studios, and there's also options for postgraduate students who can have an en-suite or a studio as well. It looks as if you're going to Clodien House, you need to have a UK-based guarantor. Just means that they can sign a document saying that if the student can't pay, then the guarantor will pay the rent on behalf of them. Clodien House is about 25 minutes from the main building, so probably around 35 minutes to the city centre. This is walking, by the way. And about a 5-minute walk to Heath Park campus. So if your subject is going to be in Heath Park campus, then this would be a good one to go for. Next we have Colum Hall, which is £132 per week. A 10-minute walk from the main building, so probably about a 15 to 20-minute walk to the city centre. It's pretty near to the Students' Union as well. All of the rooms in Colum Hall have en-suites. Next we have Gordon Hall, which is again quite small. It holds around 91 students. This comes at a price from £129 per week. It's about a 10-minute walk to the main building, so again probably around a 15 to 20-minute walk into the city centre. Again, it's kind of near the Students' Union. I'm pretty sure this one is near the one that I just spoke about before, Colum Hall. I'm pretty sure they're quite close to each other, which is again then kind of close to Senghennydd Hall. You can either get a part-catered shared bathroom or a part-catered ensuite. So again, they do the part-catered thing. So the part-catered, if you do part-catered and you are eating in the restaurant, it's the same restaurant that I ate at in Senghennydd Hall. So this Gordon Hall must be quite close. I'm pretty sure it is because I think I know a couple of people that were in Gordon Hall. So again, it's quite close to the city centre. quite close to the Students' Union. It's quite small as well and quite quiet, which might be quite nice as well. And you can either have a shared bathroom or an ensuite. Hodge Hall is another one. Again, it's very small with 60 students. You're paying £123 per week. This one is only available to postgraduates, however, and it's self-catered and has laundry, and you'll be sharing the kitchen with 4 to 6 people. This one's about a 5-minute walk to the main building, so again, probably around a 15-minute walk to the city centre. Next we have Roy Jenkins Hall. So again, it's very small, got up to 42 students, and it is from £114 per week. It's about a 15 minutes walk to the main building, so it's probably about a 25-minute walk to the city centre. The options for this one are either a shared bathroom, which is £114 per week, and you can also add car parking on top of that, or you can have a studio, which again will be more than the £114 per week. Again, this one's very quiet, very small, you don't really hear much about it. So now we have student houses. So this one is Student Houses Colum Road / Place. So this is 145 students, and it's from £104 per week. This one looks like it's for quiet living, undergraduates, postgraduates, graduates, and alcohol-free living for undergraduates and postgraduates. And I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before. It's just like a house, you see. So I'm guessing these were houses and then they were converted into like student accommodation, whereas the other ones were made to be student accommodations, I'm pretty sure at least. Maybe not Aberdare Hall, but the other ones. It was a 10-minute to the main building, so probably around a 15 to 20-minute walk into the city centre. It's again near the Students' Union, and it's near the Lidl on Mandy Road. This one only has shared bathrooms, so you'd either have a shared bathroom or a shared bathroom with a smaller room, and then a shared bathroom for postgraduate students. So that would be a good one if you don't want to drink alcohol, you want it to be quite quiet, still want to be near the Students' Union, still want to be near the city centre. That would be a good one to apply for. Then we have student houses in the village, it says in brackets. So that's again £104 per week, but this one has 216 students as a maximum. This one is again for quiet living students, undergraduate, postgraduate, alcohol-free living students, postgraduate, undergraduate, and for families and for couples. I'm not really sure where this one is because it looks like this is the picture that they have for it, and that was literally like a 2-second walk from Senghennydd Hall. But I didn't know that this was like a student house. This is really confusing because I don't know how 216 people could be in that building unless it like goes further back, but I didn't know that was like a where people could live. Okay, so it says it's a 15-minute walk to the main building. To be honest, it's probably less because from Senghennydd Hall it's not that far, and again it's near the Students' Union. It's near the city centre. It'd be about a 10-minute walk to the city centre. That's crazy, I didn't know that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Talybont area. So there are 4 Talybonts, and the Talybonts are kind of like the other side of like Cardiff. So Cardiff city centre and kind of where the Students' Union is, there's a lot of residences around there. So Senghennydd Hall, Senghennydd Court, Colum Hall, Clodien Hall, Aberdare Hall is near it, the student houses are near it. And then like away from that is all the Talybont ones. And it's near the Butte Park and closer to the river. Also, over where the Talybonts are, there is a big Tesco, and there's also an Aldi. There is also a McDonald's and a KFC, and there's some other stores as well. I can't think right now, but yeah, it's really handy to have that all there when you're in Talybont. There's also like a little Tesco near Talybont somewhere, which is good as well. But yeah, so the first one, so for example, if you're walking parallel to the park, like along the Butte Park, from the city centre, you're walking towards the Talybont residences. The first one you will see is Talybont Court. The Talybont Court is £135 per week and houses 513 students. For Talybont Court you can have an ensuite, and there's also an option to have an ensuite large, so it's like a larger room, and then a bigger ensuite. So that's really good, so you don't have to share a bathroom. It says it's about 15 minutes to the main building, so that means then it's probably 25 to 30 minutes to the city centre, which is probably accurate. maybe even a little bit more to the city centre, maybe like 35 minutes. Talybont Court is quite a nice one. I feel like it is a bit more modern than Talybont South and North, and it's kind of quieter than, well, for my year at least anyway, it was quieter than the other tallies. So I think Talybont Court would be a great one to apply to, great one to put as first. This is kind of how it looks from the outside. And the rooms actually look really nice, so that's great. On here it says the rooms are available for quiet living students and alcohol-free living students. So again, that's great if you don't want to get too involved in all of that. But at the same time, there's still going to be people there that aren't like that and will still want to, you know, have a party here and there or go out and stuff, and that's absolutely fine. The next one from Talybont Court, I'm pretty sure it's Talybont South. Talybont South is £132 a week and houses 1,252 students. So Talybont South is massive. However, Talybont South isn't one whole building. It is like a mixture of it's like a lot of little buildings. So it's not one whole building. Yeah, so they're kind of like smaller buildings, and then that then creates, because they're smaller buildings next to each other, they then create like courtyards and things like that. Here's an image. So this is obviously one building here, and then that over there is like another building from Talybont South. Yeah, and then they're making it out as if people like sit on the grass, but like no one does. And then this is an image of a room in Talybont South. Obviously you can look on the website yourself and have a look through all this. It's just kind of nice to discuss it. Talybont South is about a 20-minute walk from the main building, from the Cardiff University main building. So that means it probably is about a 30-minute walk to the city centre. To be honest, maybe even a little bit more. It is a little bit more. It's it's probably a 35-minute walk to the city centre. Talybont South, you can have an ensuite. For my year group, Talybont South was known to be kind of the most rowdiest building in terms of accommodation, because it has those little courtyards. It's easy for people to like have parties in the courtyards and like go from like flat to flat, like room to room. It's kind of easier that way than if it's like one big building. So yeah, I think Talybont South was a little bit crazy for my year group, but I think it's different for every year group, because I've watched a couple of other of these videos and they said that like Talybont North was, but Talybont North wasn't as bad. Well, I don't think so, from what I heard at least anyway, wasn't as bad as Talybont South. There was, you know, more involved with Talybont South, for my year group at least. So if you do want to have that kind of party atmosphere, then I guess Talybont South would be good for you. But if you don't, then I wouldn't recommend putting it on your like top list, because if you do end up there and you don't like that type of stuff, you're going to be able to hear it at night. You're going to. So yeah. Talybont North is cheaper than Talybont, is it? Talybont North is cheaper than Talybont South. It is from £114 per week, and that's because you have to share a bathroom. Sorry, you don't share a bathroom. Talybont North, you don't share a bathroom, it looks like. It just has ensuite, small room, medium room. Okay, so for Talybont South, you have different sized rooms. So you can have a small room, a medium room, or just like an ensuite. So I'm guessing that's like a standard size room. So you have to pick. So when you do apply, you have to rank. So I guess if you do definitely want to be in Talybont North, then you can rank those three as your top three. For this one, you have 130 car parking spaces available, so that's great if you want to bring your car. Again, self-catered ensuite. They have the laundry actually in Talybont North, but it's not really. It's in Talybont North, but Talybont South use it as well, I'm pretty sure, and so does Talybont Gate, definitely. It's just a building on its own. It's not in actually any of the specific Talybont North buildings. There's also, like, in the Talybont area, there is like a gym, and they also have like a football field and a basketball net, and you can also do like netball on the field thing as well. So that is good if you're into sports. So that's Talybont North. Talybont North is a little bit further away from the city centre, so it's about a 25-minute walk to the main building, so probably about a 35 to 40-minute walk to the city centre. So Talybont Gate is the newest residential building for Cardiff University. I think it was built in 2018 or 2016, it doesn't actually say. You have parking spaces available for 130 cars. You usually share a kitchen between 6 to 10 people. It's £134 a week and has 179 students. And they are all en suites, the rooms. And also in Talybont Gate you have a double bed, or it's like a little bit bigger than it's like a 4 foot by 4 foot or something. So it's a little bit bigger than a single, and then I think a little bit smaller than a double, but it's pretty much a double. It's very nice. My boyfriend was actually in Talybont Gate and he said that it's like kind of like it's pretty much like a hotel room, kind of. Like, it's quite modern, very nice, like the bathrooms, very nice. What my boyfriend said was there was actually quite a lot of people who were older. So the reason for that is because when you apply for a deferred entry, I'm pretty sure you still then apply for your residences. So because they've applied, they've put Talybont Gate first, and then because they're automatically in for the next year, then all these people who deferred, who were on gap years or whatever, they automatically get their first choice because they like applied first, you know. So there was a lot of people who had their gap years, who had deferred, who were in Talybont Gate. So that probably will be the same again as just usual, because Talybont Gate is probably the best one to be in because it is really nice and modern, and it is very close to the big Tesco's. Yeah, there was quite a few like parties there this year. From videos that I've heard before and listened to before, Talybont Gate never really was that party like, but this year it definitely was. There was some very like crazy things happening, big instances going on, the fire alarms going off very regularly at night time, you know, parties on nearly every day of the week, not just the weekends, fire alarms going off at 3 a.m, 2 a.m, nearly every night, or at least once a week or twice a week. Partly because either people were setting them off or security was setting them off so that they could get people out of the building. It's obviously COVID, like you weren't supposed to be having parties. But yeah, I don't really know the whole of it. But yeah, fire alarms going off during the night, early morning, parties quite often. But the good thing about Talybont Gate is that their walls are thicker and stuff, so even if they are partying, it's not that bad. Whereas if someone was partying in Senghennydd Hall, where I was, it was very noticeable because the walls are extremely thin. So yeah, Talybont Gate is about a 45 to 50-minute walk into the city centre, and people do walk. It's a very easy walk. You just walk along the Butte Park, or like the road parallel to Butte Park. You know, if you're going to the Media and Communications from Talybont Gate, that's probably about a 50 to 55-minute walk. But people do it, and they will continue to do it because it's an easy walk. The buses, there's not really a bus that runs, so yeah, people do it. Last but definitely not least, we have University Hall. University Hall is from £114 per week and houses 673 students. University Hall has en-suites, shared bathrooms, car parking available, studios, 1-bedroom flats and 2-bedroom flats. University Hall is actually quite fun. It's quite like a nice hall. Apparently you get to know a lot of people. It's very fun apparently. Yeah, it says it's a very large hall with a lively and friendly atmosphere, and I would definitely agree from what I've heard from people's experiences. A 35-minute walk to the main Cardiff University building. So that means it is probably about an hour walk to the city centre. Maybe a little bit less, 50 to 55 minutes. I'm pretty sure there is a bus service. Yeah, there's a university operated bus service from University Hall to the university buildings, so that is really good. And apparently there is a big Sainsbury's nearby. I'm not really sure where University Hall is because it's not near the Talybonts, I don't think, and I've never seen it, so I don't know where it is exactly, but you know, apparently it's still good. It's still a nice area. It just is only quite far from the city centre and far from a lot of things. Yes, so those are all of the residences available at Cardiff University. To be honest, you know, some of them aren't, just because they're quiet living, they aren't going to be quiet living. Just because they're small doesn't mean they're not going to be loud. Just because they are big doesn't mean they're going to be loud. So it's really what you make of it, and it's different every year. Different year groups will have different experiences with different accommodations. Senghennydd Court was quite loud this year, next year it might not be. Talybont South was quite loud this year, next year it might not be. So obviously it depends where you are, and it's just best to make the most out of the situations you were in. It can be difficult living in student accommodation. It's not always the nicest, it's not always the cleanest, but it is a fun experience living on your own and experiencing that before you then get a house with your friends in year 2. So just enjoy your time in university halls. It's like a fun memory that people always talk about. Wherever you end up going, I'm sure it'll be fine, I'm sure it'll be fun, I'm sure it'll be a great place for you to live. And don't worry about anything, because wherever you are is very accessible to walk places. Even if it is far, you can easily walk to places, and it's just a fun experience overall. And also, if you're not happy with where you do get in, don't worry, because it is only a year. You're only living there for a short amount of time, and to be honest, it's not even a year. You'll probably move in at the end of September, leave again at the middle of December, come back in February, and then, you know, you don't spend a whole year there. You do have time away from it. Cardiff has a very good range of residences to offer. So yeah, I hope this video was somewhat informative and useful. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.